Can you guys hear me? Can you 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 guys hear me? Can you hear me? Please, I need your response. Okay, so let's go straight to the chat. I want to assume that you guys can hear me. I'm not getting a response from you guys. I want to assume you can hear me. You're welcome to today's live stream. You're welcome. Okay, I think it's better now. I think it's better now. So how has been trading this week? How has been trading this week? I have not made profits this week. I'm break even. How has it been at your end? I'm break even. The profit I made on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, EU and GU collected our profits. The EU and GU trade I executed yesterday, it's my SL. How has it been? How has it been? I believe I'm going to end the week in profit. I'm going to end the week in profit. How has it been for you? How has it been for you? If you have any question, any pair you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, any pair you want me to analyze, by 10:30, we should be done with this class by 10:30. I don't want to be spending more than 30 minutes. I don't want to be spending more than 30 minutes. So if you have any question, please drop it. Drop it, drop it. Okay, so let's start by looking at the calendar. Today, we have a major news from the United States. The major news will be released by 1:30. We have the core CPI and unemployment claims will be released today. So we should expect high volatility on dollar pairs. Personally, I wouldn't be looking at the dollar pairs until CPI data is released. I'm not going to trade dollar pairs until CPI data is released. That's my plan for today. Okay, that's my plan for today. Now, let's go to the chart and see what we have on dollar index. So what's happening on dollar index? It's obvious. You can see that dollar index is bullish. At the moment, dollar index is bullish. It is bullish. You can see it has swept the liquidity residing at the high of yesterday. So dollar is likely coming to fill this fair value gap. Okay, it has swept that liquidity, but this won't be the right time to buy dollar. This won't be the right time to buy dollar. I would like to see the retracement to an imbalance, okay, before buying dollar technically. I'd love to see price pull back to a fair value gap. Okay, so if I want to buy dollar, I want to see price pull back to this fair value gap. That's if this 4-hour candle closes bullish and the low, this still remains the low of the candle. I'd love to see price pull back to this fair value gap, or let me go down to 1 hour. I believe we still have fair value gaps below it. Okay, so these are the areas I'll be looking for my buy pattern. This is the area I will be looking for my buy pattern. These are my areas of interest for dollar index. Okay, these are my area of interest. So dollar index has been bullish. You can see from this point, that was yesterday, it started buying. So it's been bullish. So if you didn't buy after the formation of this spinning bottom and this engulfing candle, you cannot buy from this point. This is where you should have bought. This is where you should have bought. If you have missed this move, you shouldn't buy from this point. If you want to buy, you have to wait for price to pull back to this zone before you buy. So dollar index is bullish at the moment. Don't sell the dollar. Don't sell dollar. Okay, if you want to take any risk right now, it has to be buy. It has to be buy. You cannot sell dollar now. It has to be bullish. it has to be bullish. I thought because the news that was released yesterday was negative for the dollar, that is PPI. I thought dollar would, lose some strength. As you can see, after the news, there was just a little retracement. Price just retraced few pips and it's continued with its bullish move. Continue with its bullish move. So, and it is still bullish right now. It's still bullish. Okay. So let's look at yen basket. So yen has been bearish and it is still bearish. I shared this with you on Monday, or was it on Tuesday, that yen will be bearish this week, and it's been bearish. Yen has been bearish. Okay, this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday was bearish, Tuesday was bullish, Wednesday bearish, today is bearish, and I think yen is coming for these lows. All the liquidity residing at these lows, yen is coming. This will be the next target for yen. This will be the next target for yen. If you've not been selling yen, please don't sell from the current market price. Price has already moved. It has moved. You cannot be selling from this point. You cannot be selling from this point. So this will be the first target for yen, and this is likely going to be the next target. Okay, this will be the first target, and this will be the second target for yen. If you want to join the sell trend, if you want to join the sell trend, the bearish trend, you can see it has created a fair value gap here. So this is where you should be considering joining the sell. Okay, price might retrace back to this zone. So this should be your first area of interest if you want to join the sell. We also have this fair value gap here. These are the two areas you should look for your sell pattern. These two areas, these two zones. That's where you should look for sell. If you want to sell yen, you should look for your sales at these zones. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. Okay. Okay, so let's look at currency pairs. We'll start with GBP USD. GBP USD is selling because dollar is bullish. GBP USD is selling. Let's start with the daily time frame. Okay, so GBP USD is selling. You can see Monday candle. No, this was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We had a shooting star, and I told you guys yesterday that we should expect the retracement. I think we had a fair value gap after the formation of this shooting star on Tuesday. I think we had a fair value gap here. Yeah, we had a fair value gap, and I said price is likely going to fill that fair value gap, which it did yesterday. You can see the fair value gap on 4 hour. It did that yesterday, and that's the reason it is selling at the moment. You can see after it filled that fair value gap, you can see the pattern that formed. See the pattern that formed. I thought it was going to come for the liquidity residing at these highs. That was my target. I actually took the buy trade and I was in good profit. I made some good profits at this point. I was hoping it would come hit this high. This was my first target for the buy trade. This was my first target for the buy trade, but it didn't get them and started retracing. after price filled this fair value gap. You can see that. So it is still very bearish at the moment. First target for GU right now will be this low, the liquidity residing at this low. That will be the next target for GU. And also they're coming to fill this fair value gap. Okay, we still have fair value gaps here. So I think my bias for GU today will be sell. I'll be looking for sales. Okay, I'll be looking for sales on GU. But I need to wait for CPI data to be released before I will trade. So if the news comes out negative for the dollar, if the news comes out negative for the dollar, I would like to see a retracement back to this area. I would like to see price. If the news comes out negative for the dollar, I would like to see price pull back to this zone or probably come to sweep this liquidity. So these are the zones I'll be considering selling. Okay, these are the zones I'll be considering selling. But if the news comes out positive for dollar, if the news comes out positive for the dollar, then we should expect more sales. We should expect more sales. So GU might come to fill all these fair value gaps. So that's my plan for GU today. The news comes out negative, I want to see price retrace back to test this area, these zones, either this or this, before I will sell it. Okay, so that's my bias for GU today. I'm going for sales. I will go for sales. And if the news comes out positive, that would align with my technical analysis. So I will go bearish on GBP USD. GJ and EA. GJ and EA. Okay, we'll look at that in a few minutes. Let's see Euro USD and gold before we look at other pairs. Euro USD, same thing. Euro USD is bearish. It's bearish. My bias for Euro USD is bearish. Okay, but we have this fair value gap that Euro USD might come to fill. It might come to fill if the news comes out positive for dollar, then it's coming to fill these gaps. So if you want to buy, this is where you should be considering buying. But I'd like to see, you see it has created, this is where I'll be looking for my sales on EU. This is where I'll be looking for my sales on EU. See this fair value gap here? And this high that has been created, I want to see price sweep the liquidity here. If price sweeps this liquidity before the news, I'm going to sell Euro USD. If the market sweeps the liquidity residing at this previous high, I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell. I might not go all in. I might not go all in. But if that plays out before the news, I'm going to sell. Okay. So it's either that plays out before the news or after the news. So this is where I'll be looking for my sales on Euro USD. I will sell from this zone. Then my first target will be this fair value gap, and my final target will be this fair value gap. That's my take on Euro USD today. Any question? Okay, so let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. Okay, so gold is still bearish. Gold is still bearish. Since dollar is bullish, gold is still bearish. I did advise that you should not buy gold from the current market price. You should see a sharp retracement on gold before you buy. You cannot buy from the current market price. For me, I think it's overbought. Okay, so this is a daily time frame. A support was created yesterday. After the close of yesterday candle, we have this support. And you can see the market is trading below that support right now. Let's see 4 hour. Let's see 4 hour closed below. Okay, so this is the 4 hour candle to close below that support. So if this 4 hour candle closes below the support, we should expect more sales on gold. We should expect more sales on gold. Like I did advise, if you want to risk buying gold, you should wait for price to at least pull back to this zone. This would be a very good area to consider buying gold. If you want to buy gold, if you want to risk buying gold. Okay, so gold at the moment is still very bearish. It's still very bearish. Okay, still very bearish. still very bearish. You can see this pattern we have here. This should be for those who trade head and shoulder. This is the head. This is the shoulder. Head and shoulder. That's a bearish pattern. Head and shoulder. You can see. That's what it conclude. Okay, so let's look at GJ. We'll look at GJ and EA and we'll be done for today's class. GJ and EA. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, drop it now. Once I'm done with GJ and EA, that will be all for today's class. Okay, so GJ, let's start with the daily time frame. Okay, so GJ, you can see yesterday candle looks like an inverted hammer. After the close of yesterday candle, we had a support was created after the close of yesterday candle. You can also see here we had this resistance area, and the market is currently trading above this resistance zone right now. You can see market has broken out from this zone, this resistance zone support. Now this retracement here could be a retest of this resistance zone support. This retracement could be a retest to this resistance broken zone support, and the market is currently trading above. You cannot sell GJ now. You would only consider selling GJ if price breaks out from this support. If price does not break out from this support, it means the buyers are still in control. It means demand is higher than supply. So you should look for buys and not sell. Probably a fair value gap was created after the formation of, I think this was Monday candle. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, was it Thursday? Probably a fair value gap was created. Price wants to go and fill. Let's see. 4 hour. Okay, let's see. This is 4 hour. Let's see 1 hour. Okay, so we have this fair value gap. Let's see if price has filled this gap. Let's see. Okay, price has filled this gap. So we might see, I think it has filled this gap. It has filled. There could be a little retracement. Okay, there could be a little retracement. Price just filled this gap. So there could be a little retracement. But if 4 hour candle closes above this fair value gap, then we should expect more buys. My target for GJ, I think GJ wants to go and sweep liquidity residing at the previous highs. All these highs, I think that is where, see all these highs, these relative equal highs. Okay, GJ might sweep all these highs. It might sweep all this high, and above that high, we have this fair value gap that has not been filled. That could be the target for GJ. 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 Okay, so let's see what we have on 4 hour. So price is at a fair value gap at the moment. Okay, so I will not advise you buy. This is where you should have bought. This would have been a good entry for today's market after the formation of this hammer, this bearish hammer. That's where you should have bought. So if you didn't buy from this point, we even had an hammer here too. So if you didn't buy after the formation of this hammer or after the formation of this hammer, you shouldn't buy now. You have to wait for price to retrace. Okay, you shouldn't buy now. You need to wait for price to retrace before you buy. Price has already gone far from your entry level. You can see price ranged at this point. This was a ranging market. You can see all through, I think this should be in Asian session. All through Asian session, GJ was just ranging. It was just ranging, and this morning you can see it has broken out from the resistance, the high of the range. That tells you that demand is higher than supply. Demand is higher than supply, so price is expected to go up. Let's see. So that's my take on GJ. GJ is still very bullish, but buying from the current market price, is at a very high risk. Let's look at the risk reward. If you buy from this point, this is where we are aiming for. If you buy from this point, your stop loss has to be at this point. So if you look at it, this is 199.32 and you are aiming your entry 199.84. That's about 50 pips. 50 pips, and from this point to this point, that's like just 40 pips. That's just like 40 pips. So you are risking 50 pips. You want to risk 50 pips to make 40 pips. To me, that's not a good risk reward. That's not a good risk reward. That's not a good risk reward. So it is still bullish. But if you want to take this trade, if you have good account size, okay, you can just go with 0.01 lot size, just so that you can just make some profits on this move. You can just go with 0.01 instead of not executing the trade, okay? Instead of hoping that price will retrace. If price does not retrace, you're going to miss this move. So you can just play with 0.01 lot size. You can just play with 0.01 lot size, set your stop loss. Yeah. If the trade goes against you, that would be just like a $4 loss or 3 point something dollar loss. So just you can go with 0.01. And if price pulls back to this fair value gap and you see how funds that you can execute to it, you take more trades at this point. Okay, that's my advice. You can just go in with 0.01 lot size. Okay, let's look at EA. Euro Aussie. If you have any pair you want me to analyze, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. We're rounding up in a few minutes. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie. This pair also took some of the profits that I made. And I made up my mind I'm not going to trade it again. I made up my mind I'm not going to trade it again. I bought it and it kept selling. I decided no more. I'm tired of this relationship I have with EA. It used to be my first love. It used to be one of my preferred pairs. But the way it treated me this, and that was on Monday or Tuesday, I think. I had to break up with this pair. Not going back. I've deleted it from the list. I've deleted it from my list. So let's see daily. Let's start with the daily. Daily. I think this might still sell. You can see it's been bearish. It's been bearish, but it will not be. I won't advise that you sell from the current market price. I would not advise. As far as I'm concerned, it's oversold. It's oversold. Okay. And we still have this fair value gap. So we still have this fair value gap here. Would it come to fill that gap? Would it come to fill this gap? Okay, well, let me start with the weekly. Let me see the weekly. Okay, the weekly is bearish. It's bearish. I'm not seeing a clear direction on. But if I want to take any risk on EA as it is right now, if I want to take any risk on EA, it would be buy. It has swept the liquidity residing at this low. Yeah, they have swept this liquidity, and I think we have a fair value gap at this point. Okay, at this point we have a fair value gap. Let's go down to 4 hour. I think there's a fair value gap at that point, and let's see. Let's see. Okay, so you can see the fair value gap we have here. We have this fair value gap. Point. That could be the reason we have a fair value gap here. We have this fair value gap. That could be the reason for we still have another one here. So this could be the reason for the retracement. Let's see if it has filled this fair value gap. Okay. If it has filled that gap, then you should be looking for buys. If it has filled any of this gap, let's see. Okay, does not fill these gaps. Does not fill this gap, so it might want to fill this gap. Okay. So since there's a possibility for it to come and fill this gap, if I want to buy, you can see the pattern we have on 4 hour. These are bullish reversal patterns on 4 hour. these are bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour. You can see we had a spinning bottom. It looks like an inverted hammer. This is an hammer. So we have several bullish reversal pattern here. And since there's possibility for it to come and fill this gap, if I'm going to take this trade, the risk is too high. This is where my stop loss will be. I'll be risking 100 pips. I'll be risking 100 pips. I don't take such risk. Anything above 50 pip risk, I avoid it. Anything above 50 pips, that trade is not for me. Any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know, let me know. Any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know. So EA is likely is bullish at the moment. That's what I see on 1 hour, 4 hour. It is bullish at the moment. So it appears there are no more questions. There are no more questions. Okay, so I appreciate every one of you for your participation. If it is your first time joining the live stream, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. I come on live on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday by 10 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday by 10 a.m. And also, if we are expecting any major news, sometimes I come on live. Like today, CPI will be released by 1:30, so I most likely will be on by 1:20 or 1:25. I'm going to drop the link on the various social media handles. Okay, and if you're yet to give this video a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up. Mr. Amudar, appreciate you for your participation. Mr. Isaiah, Mr. Sam, Joro Boy, I appreciate you all for your participation. Please give the video a thumbs up. And for those of you that are participating for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel. So I look forward to having you in class. Okay, by 1:20, 1:25, I'll drop the link so that we can see how the market reacts to CPI data. Do have a wonderful day.